What is an approval panel? An approval panel is a group of trained professionals who come together to decide if what they've read in the PA it's okay or good enough to approve you to become an adoptive parent. And my advice to anyone on this stage is do not be afraid to say no. Do not be scared. No, it's better you say no than taking on that child and later returning that child. There are some that came through that we said no to. We still say no because we don't want the child. No, we said no because we don't feel that we are a perfect match for that child. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Chichi, an adoptive parent sharing my experience to help others navigate through the world of adoption with confidence and clarity. In my previous videos, I've been talking about the UK adoption process checklist. We finished on the stage 2 assessment, which I said lasts usually 4 months. So today, after the stage 2 assessment, we have the PAR, that's the prospective adopters report, which the social worker will now submit to the approval panel. So what is an approval panel? An approval panel is a group of trained professionals who come together to decide if what they've read in the PA it's okay or good enough to approve you to become an adoptive parent. So the approval panel comprises of social workers, the panel members, experienced adoptive parents. So they look at your PA and either approve or don't approve. And also they will invite you in for an interview. I call it interview because they'll be asking the question, you'll be answering. Yeah, it will seem like it's intimidating. It seems like that, but trust me, nothing like that. They make you comfortable, they invite you in, they ask you questions, and the question they ask you is not from the blue. No, it's what you've already given to them, to your social worker in your PA, because your information and everything makes up your PA. That's the prospective adopters report. So the question they ask you is what you've already given, things like why you want to adopt, what prompted you to adopt, your support network, your family tree, your upbringing, who are in your support system, things like that. And you just walk them through it. So honestly, if you're at this stage and preparing for it, be relaxed. Don't get tensed up. I know it's easier said than done because I was tensed up, I was scared, I was nervous seeing the panel. But when they started asking us, when we started talking, it was like a walk in the park. It was so easy. We answered their question, and after you finish answering their question, they ask you to step out, which you will do because they had to deliberate and decide if what you've given to them is good enough for them to approve you. So maybe it could take 10 minutes or 15, it depends, depending. And yes, that 10-15 minutes will seem like eternity because you're waiting, you want, like my one, I was pacing from one side of the hall to the other, pacing, but I was scared, thinking, what if they don't approve us and what would the reason be? But at some point, there's a part of it that was telling me, they will approve you because you've given them everything honestly and the way it should be. Because the professional worker honestly also will talk you through how it works. So when they called us back in, told us that we've been approved, we were happy, we were excited. We were so excited that when we got, we started thinking, okay, started making up the room, what do we need to do? And yeah, it was so, for me, it was easy. The approval panel, somehow for me, it was like a doddle. It was so very easy. And we came out happier that after all the hard work, especially the stage 2 assessment, after that, the hard work has paid off. If you're at this stage, that's preparing for your panel, what my advice to you is read through your PA, know your whys, why you're going into the process. And when you speak to them, speak from your heart. Let them know how important it is to us. And lastly, they are your team. They are rooting for you because there are, in fact, thousands of children out there that need adoptive parents. So the social worker even wants you to be approved as an adoptive parent. So now, after the panel, then we go to the matching process. Matching is when the social worker look at the information you've given on your power and your strength and use it to align with a child that will fit properly into your household. It's about making sure the child get the best support possible. It's also about making sure parents feel equipped and supported. Every adoptive journey is unique, so I will focus on our feelings and experience rather than any details about our child or their history, because that is their story to tell someday. For us, the matching stage felt like a bit of mixed feelings of excitement, anxiety, hope, and of course, a huge sense of responsibility. Honestly, yes, it is a huge responsibility that we're taking on. So, we received information about a particular match, and myself and my husband sat down, deliberated on it properly to see if this child aligned to what we are offering, what we can support with emotionally. There are some that came through that we said no to. We didn't say no because we don't want the child. No. We said no because we don't feel that we are a perfect match for that child, because it will be easier to accept a child. But when you find out that you're not a perfect match, what do? Do you want to take that child back to the agency? No, you can't do that, because that will be double trauma for that child. And you're not doing yourself any justice as well. So you have to try to get it right. And my advice to anyone on this stage is, do not be afraid to say no. Do not be scared. No, it's better you say no than taking on that child and later returning that child. Because that, in fact, I don't think you'll be able to live with your conscience if you do that. So for us, we looked at all the profile properly, very well, before we said yes to any of the children. And today we are happier for it. I would say we have the best children ever. We look at them and we're happy we took that step when we did. And we're happy for them. And because they are progressing, we are progressing, we're learning, they are learning, and their character, everything about just align to what we are able to support with, align to what we're giving to them. So, yes, please, if you're at that stage, do not be afraid to say no to a child. If you're at this stage, top tips for you: be honest with your social worker, even about fears. Let them know your fears. Ask any question, even those that are very, very uncomfortable. Taking time before saying yes. And remember, the child needs comes first, not yours. It's all about the child at this stage. So matching is not about being a perfect parent. No. It's about being the right parents for a specific child. That's the matching process and how it felt for us. So if you're at this stage already, or just being curious, feel free to drop your question below. I cannot give advice on specific cases, but I'm happy to share our own experience to help you feel a lot more prepared and a bit less alone. Don't forget to like or subscribe and join us for more videos on adoption. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Remember, love makes a family. See you in my next video.